Namaste and very good afternoon to everyone. On behalf of the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, and the regional office in Chennai, the South India, it gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you to today's session on the Heritage Talk Series LKART, which stands for Lesser Known Art and Architecturally Rich Temples. My name is Venkatesh Dattatrayan. I'm the Regional Director, Ministry of Tourism, Government of India for the Southern region. As we all know, the temples in South India, especially Tamil Nadu, are architecturally rich temples. We are honored to have all of you joining us in our shared journey for to rediscover and celebrate the Tamil Nadu's hidden cultural gems. Tamil Nadu is a land of unparalleled heritage. It is its temples are not just places of worship, but also they are the repositories of art, architecture, history, stories that have been passed down through various generations. While many of us are familiar with the prominent temple landmarks, there exists a wealth of lesser known temples that are equally magnificent, waiting to be explored and appreciated. In fact, from today, we are starting this series, which I believe should be going through all the every month minimum at least. And today's talk is step towards eliminating these hidden treasures, the lesser known temples. We are privileged to have with us Mr. Sivashankar Babu. Mr. Babu is a renowned expert in Tamil heritage and architecture who will guide us through the intricacies and the untold stories of these marvels. His insights will deepen our understanding and help us appreciate the craftsmanship and cultural legacy embedded in these lesser known temples today. I will leave it to Mr. Babu to give the temple that we are going to showcase. I'm not going to give the name for you. Let it be suspense for another few seconds. As we embark on this enlightening session, let us take a moment to recognize the importance in preserving and promoting our heritage for the future generations. The richness of Tamil Nadu temple reflects the timeless spirit of our culture, and through discussions like this, we ensure that the legacy continues to thrive. I'm happy today that we will be having a lot of youth students will be joining here, and also the professional from various fields, especially from the tourism industry. And I invite you all to actively engage, ask questions, and immerse yourself in this exploration. As it is live on YouTube, you have the option to put your questions on the chat, and Mr. Babu will answer them all. Once again, I thank you all, and let the story begin. Thank you, Mr. Babu. Please, the space is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, all. It's a nice day, pleasant weather, and happy to meet you all through this Zoom. First of all, I thank the Ministry of Tourism and in particular Venkatesan sir for actively taking this kind of an interest in spreading heritage and in spreading heritage tourism. In the short 1 year where he has taken over, coming back to Chennai, a lot of interesting things have happened, and this is one of the very interesting initiatives where we want to highlight the richness of temples of Tamil Nadu and bring more and more people to see its wonders. So this is an interesting session. I thank for the opportunity, and definitely this is going to be a steady series with every month one temple getting described in detail about this. So let us go to the presentation now. So we'll be having around 1 hour kind of a presentation, a visual presentation, and a tip to the viewers and the guides who can take this as a cue and then handle it in explaining and interpreting these temples to the tourists. So after this, there will be a short question and answer session. So if you have any doubts and other things, you please put it on your YouTube channel chat, and we will answer some of the important questions immediately. And If we don't have time, we will definitely answer all these questions in detail in the YouTube channel itself. Thank you for the support. Continue watching in this channel and proceed to have some interesting interactions. I'm sharing the presentation now. Okay. Are you able to see the presentation now? Okay. Right. So this is about lesser known temples. And as the first temple in the series, we are going to cover Athmanathar Swami temple in Avudiyar Kovil. So this is how the temple looks at a grand view. May not be a big temple, but the amount of features and architecture it is there inside this small temple is phenomenal. You will see it in the next 1 hour. So objective is we briefly go into why this need for Elkhart and how it addresses some of the issues in terms of religious versus art and architecture temple. And and we will go in detail about the Atmanabaswamy temple in a two eyes view, religious as well as artistic. And then conclusion and how we go into the next temple. So for this, I have used a lot of content from Google and whatever we want. Sitting here, I can get a lot of pictures, interesting pictures. And Wikipedia Pujari gives me the consolidated information. Many of it may not be true, but it gives beautiful references which we can reference and then have our own inferences. The second part of the thing is going to credit to friends like Sridharan sir in Tamil Nadu State Archaeology Department who helped a lot. And we both together did a presentation earlier on lesser known temples of Tamil Nadu, 30 lesser known temples in some of the places. And I am expanding this to cover each one of them in detail. In terms of inspiration, my training in Tamil Heritage Trust and Professor Swaminathan and mentors, and also in India tourism, the amount of encouragement given by the team, and in particular Regional Director Sri Venkateswaran sir, in encouraging and coming up with a lot of innovation. Not only for me, the entire guide fraternity is having very good relationship now, and then we are getting a lot of insights and close together working because of it. Thank you for that. And in terms of books, we had multiple references. And one of the interesting references is the Kalveti reference in Tamil Nadu State Archaeology, written by Vasanta Kalyani and Muthuswamy, which gives a fairly crisp details about the interesting aspects of this temple. Now, coming to Tamil Nadu, Tamil Nadu is popularly stated as a temple state. Why? Let us see. When we list the top 10 tallest Gopurams, of course, Gopuram is a special feature of Dravida architecture and mostly it is built in Tamil Nadu. So out of the 10, top 9 are in Tamil Nadu only. If you see the remaining one, Murudeshwar, which was built very recently, less than 10 years ago in concrete. So, Gopurams are there in Tamil Nadu. There is a top thing. When we talk about Vimanas, the sanctums, okay, the top 4 are still in Tamil Nadu. The great Tanjavur, Gangakonda Solvam, Tribhuvanam, Darasaram, the 4 great living temples are there. The remaining one, a big chunk is in Odisha, Puri, Lingaraja, Konar, and then Kandariya. So 4 plus 4, 8. The other 2 are fairly new. So this is the story. When in terms of the largest complex in temple, that is in worship. If you don't count not in worship, we have 2 big ones in Borobudur and in Cambodia. They are big. But in Tamil Nadu, we have the largest one, Srirangam, where town buses fly inside the coil prakarams. And again, top six are in Tamil Nadu. If you see the remaining ones, Chhatarpur, Akshardham, Belu, Dakshineshwar, all of them are fairly recent, very, very recent. So, most of the world largest temples are still in Tamil Nadu. Now, we have 251 ASA monuments, 44,000 HRC monuments, and out of which more than 100 years is 3,470. So, total around 45,000. So, if you count Tamil Nadu 45, Karnataka 28, Andhra Pradesh 38, Karnataka 34, Kerala 28, Maharashtra 45, Odisha 33. So below Vindhyas, we have 222,000 temples. So out of which the big chunk is from Tamil Nadu, next major chunk is from Maharashtra. Now, if you see how much temples are there, taking the Tamil Nadu area, it works out to 3 square kilometer area. So if you have 3 square kilometer area, we will definitely find one temple. Or an average, around 450 or 600 people population, we have one temple. That is the density of Tamil Nadu. That's why no wonder Tamil Nadu is called Tamil Nadu, temple state. Again, but when you look it up from the visitor's point of view, from the out of state, all India visitors or international visitors, if you see the inflow into the tourism, the bulk of the tourism comes to these 10 places: Chennai, Kanchipuram, Tiruvannamalai, Chidambaram, Kumbakonam, Trichy, Madurai, Rameswaram, Tirunelveli, and Kanyakumari. These are the major tourism trips people offer. So they come there, they visit one temple there and move on to the next one. They don't explore to the remaining temples. But interestingly, if you compare from the art, and this is the religious flow. When you are coming to Tamil Nadu, the big question is: have we visited Rameswaram, had a bath in it? Have we visited Madurai temple? Or have we visited in Andhra, Tirupati and brought some laddus? So that is the religious focus which you are focusing, and there is a popular in flow. But interestingly, we have lot of Elkar temples. What I say is lesser known art and architecture temples. So these have equally good, grand complexes, beautiful architecture, tall gopuras, vimanas, and fantastic sculptures, and they are silent. No rush, nothing, and then no crowd. You can actually enjoy. You can't take photographs in Madurai. You can't take the photographs in Srirangam. Here you have all the place to yourself, and you can enjoy. The pujaris and others are always eager to explain to you. You can see that Chennai, Theravurusara, Kanji, Kailas, and other. Nobody goes there. Vaikunthapurmal, nobody goes there. Tiruvannamalai, Devikapuram, Tirukkovilu, Chidambaram, Melakadambu, Kumbakonam, Tukkachi, Tiruppuvanam. Tiruppuvanam is supposed to go into the top 4 of the living Chola, but it escaped. Trichy, Tiruvallai, Tiruppanjili, it is not there, nobody goes. Not even next to Srirangam, there is the Tiruvana Koil, largest, equally large temple, Shiva temple, nobody knows. And Madurai, we have Pillaiyappatti, Avadiyar Koil, Rameswaram, Uttarasamangai, Tirupunavasal, in Tirunelveli, Tirukurmudi, Brahmadesam, Kanyakumari, Tiruvattar, Nagarkoil. So there are lot of architecturally rich temples. Sadly, nobody goes there. So the challenge is how to increase the footfalls to these temples for better tourism revenue. When we get more people who are coming to Trichy, when they visit this gets more infrastructure, more lighting, more funds to protect the existing monument, more revenue for local people who will be able to support it better and preservation. So how do you do it? So we link it to the iconic temples like Madurai Meenakshi, Srirangam Ranganatha, or Rameswaram are marketed in such a way that when you visit Madurai, travel another 100 kilometers or travel nearby and then see this unknown gems. So if you look at this area, you have four unknown Telkar temples, Kalaya Kovil, three lingas, two Gopuras. And then you have Uttarasamangai, again two Gopuras, fantastic temple with a lot of beautiful things. And then Tirupunavasal, almost like Tanjavur big temple kind of structure, and having the largest linga. And finally, Tiruparandurai Athmanathar Swami temple, which is the best architecturally rich temple of Tamil Nadu. It is not Madurai, it is not Tanjavur, it is not Srirangam. This is the best. I would say that this is the best. So, this is what we need to highlight, and for the guides to explain and then include in their itinerary and bring people. So the objective of explaining this L card series is for creating the awareness among tourism guides and the travel infrastructure people and others, so that they include it as part of their itinerary. Regarding the regular public, it triggers them to ask, hey, I saw this interesting temple in Tiruparandurai. Can you include it in my tour, please? That is the inputs I want from the heritage tourists to the tourism and the travel agents. So this series focuses on creating awareness and exciting about these kind of fantastically, architecturally and sculpturally rich temples, which don't have any issues. Remote place, no disturbance, no crowd, no queue, and no restriction on photo and other things. The pujaris are most responsive, and you will have a great time. So now we are going to focus on Athmanathar Swami temple in Avadiyar Koil. So this is in the middle of the Tamil Nadu area between Vedaranyam and Rameswaram coast, a little inward on the river paths. If you look at it, it may be remote, but if you see this, from Tanjavur it is 96 kilometers, from Trichy it is 104, and from Madurai Meenakshi it is 128, and from Rameswaram Ramanatha Swami 147 kilometers, and from Velangani Shrine it is 129 kilometers. So, from any of these iconic temples, hardly 2+ hours drive, you can cover this, and this will take another 4 hours to cover if you do it properly. So, that is the kind of temple, hidden gem among the iconic temples. So, this is how it looks from a view. Interestingly, if you see this, this is a south-facing temple. So by default, as per ornament views, there is a large pond in front to counter the effects. This is the Dakshinamurti temple with a grand Gopuram and multiple things. It may look like a small temple, but it is a very rich temple in terms of architecture. So we are going to go and see this temple with 2 eyes. Okay, first we close one eye and see with what are the 2 eyes? One is religious and ceremonial view, which is the normal view which people take when we visit the top 10. So they go in there for darshan, they go for a special puja, a unique deity, or a deity who gives you visa clearance, passport clearance, and removes all your debts. So that is the kind of services they are looking at. Now from there, then you see the eye and close the eye and look it from the other eye, the art and architectural eye. You get a totally different view, and a view which will be far more richer than the typical top 10 popular religious temples. So what we are going to see in this series for each of these temples, which we are going to cover, is the following aspects. In terms of religious standard, what are the primary deities, Parivara Devatas, what are going to be the secondary deities, and what are the Puranic stories, the documented Shiva Purana, Vishnu Purana kind of a age-old documentation, what it talks about this particular temple, and what are the local stories. They might have done some miracles, they might have done some interesting aspects there from the local thing, and the local festivals. Also, the special rituals that are related as part of the temples. Okay. And whether the Shaiva saints and the Vaishnava alvas, whether they have sung some special songs or some other special songs about this temple. It gives the authenticity for the temple and also defines the periodicity of the temple to 7th or 10th century or earlier. So this is the first view of religious and ceremonial. Second one, we will be seeing at a later place about the sponsors, Gopuras, Vimanas, and Mandapas. So we are going to close our one eye and see the religious and ceremonies we know. Now, in terms of primary deities, this is a unique temple. You won't see it anywhere else among Shiva temples, and this temple is taken as out of bounds. It's an outlier. In technical terms, we can call it as an outlier. It doesn't define or goes into any proper definition of a temple. So we have Shiva, but Shiva here is in a formless form with only pedestal, and we have a kumbha, golden kumbha on that, and behind that Tiruvasi, the arch, we have the 24 stars and others, Surya, Chandra, everybody represented in lamps. So God is in Arupa form. The only thing where God is in Arupa form is in Chidambaram Nataraja, where we have the primary branch deity and also the Arupa form. Here the main deity itself is Arupa form. If it is so, let us think about the Ambal. Ambal, that Shakti, there is no idea. Only two feet and padams are there, and it's also in a yoga form and an aruba form. So there is no direct entrance like this, and we can see even the pedestal only through a window. So there is a yoga ball Shakti form. And again, equal importance is given to Manikavasagar, who is one of the 4 Saiva saints, famous saints. So here is where he got Jnana, and then here is where he merged with Shiva in the form of flame. So there is a separate temple for Manikavasagar, and in many of the ceremonies, he is the main adult who will be coming out in Parivara Purvanam and not Shiva, because Shiva is other. Now, in terms of Parivara Devata, interestingly, only 4, not a big crowd, so there is no big family, only 4. Let us see who are they. As usual, by default, Ganesha, because he is linked with the Vedas and other things. And then we also have the Lord Muruga. In addition, we have Nataraja, the dancing king, and the sanctum for Manikavasaga. Apart from these 4, there is no separate Dakshinamurti sanctum. So, Dakshinamurti sanctum is a money spinner in Tamil Nadu. Wherever we go in any temple, the Kosham, South Kosham, is always rebuilt fresh with a new Dakshinamurti, and on all Thursdays, thinking of this as a Guru Bhagavan, they give special puja and huge collection is there. The main sanctum will be almost closed. The pujari and everybody will be here only for collection. So that is a famous of Dakshinamurti. Here, Dakshinamurti is here in Aruba form. So there is no Dakshina, separate Dakshinamurti here in this as a Parivara Tirtha. So there is another unique thing. Now, coming about the specialities of the temple, this temple is about Manikavasaka. Just to give a background of Manikavasaka, during 7th century onwards, there is a religious renaissance happened in Tamil Nadu. In Shaivas, we had four saints who sung a lot of religious songs, and then they visited all the temples, and then they triggered the bhakti following, and then they cleaned up all the temples, they renovated the temples and everything. Similarly in Vaishnava, the Alvars, they also sung a lot of songs, Galara, Gagara, Prabandham, Mandara, here Devaram, Tiruvasagam, and all these were sung. So, of the four, the oldest one is Sundaramurti, Tirunavukkarasar, and then Sundaramurti Nayana, and the young Tirunjana Sambandar, and the fourth is Manikavasakara of a later period. So, the story of Avadiyar Koil is about Manikavasakara. Now let us see Manikavasakara's story. Manikavasakara is mentioned in Tiruvunadal Puranam, where the king Arivartana Pandya, Manikavasakara was working as a minister under him. So see the statues, how beautifully they are like as though he is sitting and he is standing. So Pandyas are very famous for having a horse force, and this they regularly bought horses, and then for purchasing it from Pasipatnam and other harbors, Tondi and others. So Arimartana Pandya gave money and then sent it to his minister Manikavasaka for buying horses. He comes to the northern side. On the way, he gets enticed in Avadiyar Koil, and he says, and he gets Upadesam and the Jnana from the god below a Kurunda tree. There is a type of tree, Kurunda tree. He gets Jnana, Upadesam. He gets Upadesam from Shiva. So after the Upadesam, he gets converted into a saint called Manikavasaka, and this attire, leaves everything and spends the entire money to build a new temple for Shiva in this. As for this, the Shiva is in Aruba form, Shakti is in Aruba form, and then he builds everything. But ultimately, when repeated reminders happen, what happened to the horses and other things, he requests Shiva to help, and then Shiva goes in as a horse trader and then delivers them to Pandya. But interestingly, that night all these horses become back to the foxes which they were originally. So the king gets angry and then he puts it into jail. And after 2 or 3 more play acts, he realizes what Manikavasaka is, and then he repents, and then he releases, and he also invests more money in this temple, and he is celebrated. Finally, Manikavasaka merges with Shiva as a Jyoti form. So that is the story of Tiruvunadal, and that is depicted in so many ways in sculptures, paintings in this temple. So the Upadesha given to Manikavasaka was in 3 forms. This is what is depicted in the mandapa top. So the first type of Upadesha is Nayanam, where he mentions and then gives by messages what salvation is. And next, he gives sparsha. So he touches the disciple on head and then gives sparsha Upadesha. The last one is the Shishya says that you are the ultimate and goes under his feet touching the Tiruvadi. So all the three types of Upadesam happened here. That is also depicted in multiple ways. Having seen the official Tiruvadi Puranam and other thing, there are a lot of local stories about this. So here the one story is that God came in as a Brahman and who taught around 300 children here in the Veda Padasala. This is called at the time as Pavitra Manika Patanam. And he was teaching these 300 children. So every day the simple food are given, like which is boiled rice, greens, and then padalkai, bitter gourd. And when Dudgan captured Shivapuram, this place, and then annexed it, and then said that the benefits will not be given, no longer given to Brahman. God as Brahman, he as a Tillai Paramaswamy, he went to the Madurai king, argued and required possession of this. So that is remembered, and the Naivedyam given to God even now is in a pedestal which consists of boiled rice, greens, and bitter gourd only on a daily basis, no fancy food. So that is a local story. The Talavriksham is called Kurunda tree, and below this tree only Manikvachara got Upadesam. To commemorate that, there is a small mandapa and there is a deity inside this. So Shiva giving advice to, yes? So, in addition to all these religious things, there are some special rituals and unique features about it. There are many. You need to note down, you need to talk about it, and then you need to explain to the tourists when you are going. So, because the Shiva is in Aruba, Agni, Surya, Chandra, Nakshara are depicted as Deepas in the Sattva we saw that earlier. Again, it is the south. Normally, Shiva temples are facing east or west. Now it is as south facing Dakshinamurti. Since it is in Aruba form, no Nandi, Dwajastamba, Balipida are there. And there is a special puja to Manikavasaka. Here, the offerings on all 6 times are given not on a plant and leaf on a ceremonial. There is a big rock pedestal, 7 feet by 6 feet, 3 feet high. So it is put on that, and when the hot steam comes out, that is assumed to be the god, and then the prayers, Deeparatana are given to him. Again, the Deepaharati, which is shown to the god, doesn't come out because Manikavasaka is assumed to be there inside, so it doesn't come out. Similarly, whatever Tambalam bag we give it for puja there, it doesn't come out, it is taken out to this one. Whenever there is a eclipse happens, there is a frequent activity in many temples where they announce that this temple will be closed within this and this time during the eclipse, and then there will not be any puja and there will be a lot of cleaning activities. But here, this temple is Aruba temple and it is beyond all this, they don't do. The temple is open like a regular temple, and also there are some special pujas happening. Again, coming back to hymns and songs about this is where the Tiruvasagam was written and sung, and out of 51 sections, 20 sections were sung here and then later expanded. To commemorate this, there is a Tiruvasagam temple where a copy of Tiruvasagam or Tirumani Kovai is kept here and worshipped separately. This is said to be around 1000 years old in palm leaf. Again, this temple is referred to in Tirupurangandram Tirupugal as Arku Mangayar, Tirukurandram Kurundathadi, Arunpera, Aruniya, Gurunadar. So it is referred in other literature also. So this covers the religious aspects of the temple in terms of deities, special rituals and other things, which are very, very unique from other things. That itself is a big seller. Now, the final thing is the temple festival. So in Ani month, Magam, July, August kind of a thing, Manikavasakar joined Shiva in a Jyoti form. So that is celebrated as a primary deity. So he comes in as a primary deity. His Uchavamurti comes in Rishabha Vagada and then temple car. The temple court is one of the largest in Tamil Nadu, 7 feet wide in the base and then wheel diameter 3 feet, and then it requires around 3,000 people to pull it to move. The drag ropes are so thick that it can't be grabbed in two hands. So that is an interesting thing. And the other special event here is the Upadesha, which Shiva gives it. That is celebrated in Ani Thirumanjanam and Margali Tiruvadare, the two things. That activity is enacted again. So these are all grand festivals. In addition, there are Changa Abhishekam, where every Kartigai, first Monday, and other special days. Now, let us close the right eye and cover the left eye and then see from the other view. So far, we have seen the religious and ceremonial view. Now, we are going to see the art and architectural view. We are going to see who are all the sponsor kings and what kind of vimanas are there, what kind of gopuras and mandapas, various mandapas, and different sculptures that are available here, and different paintings and inscriptions. So we will go one by one and see this 7 aspects. In terms of dynasties, starting from early Pandya around 8th century onward, it has been in continuous sponsor and more buildings have been built and then getting expanded with everybody trying to outbeat others by the kind of rich architectural and structural and sculptural beauty. So the core sanctum was built at the time of Manikavasaka period, and later on early Cholas, Vikrama Chola, he is a contemporary of Narasimha Pallava. He built the outer mandapas around it, and later on it was continuously expanded by imperial Cholas, Tanjavur Nayakas, and then later on Marathas, Ramnad Sedupatis. Ramnad is another 100 kilometers, and then Pudukkottai Chandaman, another 100 kilometers, and then the local Palayavanam Jamin, Panangamudi Pandarathar and others, they did the outer beautiful mandapams, and then currently it is getting maintained by Kalyana Parambare, Dharmabura Adinam Patata. So again, this has been a continuous maintenance and continuous living in worship, and not much damage fortunately has happened during the British occupation and Muslim occupation, because it is in a remote place and it escaped. So this is the frontal view of the temple, where before the grand Gopura, they have built 1 or 2 mandapas. There is a problem with the Nayakas and others. Having a grand Gopura in front, they wanted to do something more and putting mandapas in front. So it spoils the grand view of the Gopura itself. So because of this, in many places, you won't be able to see the full grandeur of the Gopura in front. But in many places, this mandapas compensate on beauty by containing so much of sculptures in the front. See the beautiful curving kodungai. In Tamil Nadu, we have 2 types of sunshades. One is the kabodam, which is just up to this one bend. That is called kabodam. When we talk about kodungai, it is like yes, one bend and a second bend and turning, which extends a grand, large way away from the base. That is very complex to manage. So this is famous for this kodungai. Now, this is how the front mandapa looks. Chitra mandapa is like this is how we enter. You can see below the kodungai so much of beautiful sculptures, lifelike sculptures around there, and fantastic pillars, and then beautiful Veerabhadra statues, and then we are going into the main Gopura entrance. So the view was taken at 3 p.m. The temple is closed, but 3 to 4 you can spend enough time here. Now again the view of the kodungai, and you can see that which is called the Taranga kodungai, where you also see the wave kind of turns here in the edges. And then we see many animals like monkeys and monitor lizards spreading all over the place. And this is the Gopuram. Since the frontal view is not complete, we have taken the view from the side. And it is a 7-layer beautiful one. Since it is a later period decoration, you don't see any sculptural members. It contains only the architectural members like the Sala and Kuta and Panjara kind of mini Vimanas. The foundation course is beautiful and typical Vijayanagara style with a lot of ornamentation. And this is the front mandapa Dwarapalakas, beautiful Vijayanagara period Dwarapalakas, and maybe it is Chola going by the ornamentation and less ornamentation, it may be a Chola period. Now coming to the architectural wonders that are available here. I have tried to give maximum pictures, but it is very, very difficult to collect all in 1 hour. So I have given a list. So when we go there in person, take this list and see each of them. And there are helpful boards in the temple also. The kodungai, that is the ultimate work. And then British during their period, they tested the kodungai and then they shot at it. Still, it was only wastage of bullets and it withstood. Again, we have 2 pillars in which each one has got 500 and it contains around small temples. Every temple is having around 10 to 12 kind of pillars. So total 1000 small pillars in 1 pillar. Again, the varieties of horses available. This is horse trading based temple. So the passion for horses is coming out very clearly, and wherever possible, the rearing horses and other things have got variety, and then the biologists have identified different breeds of horses here. Again, in each place we see nakshatra. Here we see nakshatra in a different form. We will see it in detail. Sculptures here are almost like physical replication. You can see the nails in detail, bone in detail, sinew, everything you can see in detail. In addition, if you want to see the latest fashion, Adidas and then New Balance and any of these Nike shoes and that kind of styles and all the ornaments, hairdresses, everything is there in the sculptures. And in fact, many of the new jewelry guys are copying from the designs. That is a kind of innovation they have done in 17th century. The grand mandapas, Padmapida for the Sakti Sanctum, and beautiful organic paintings of the Nayaka period. And there are images of Gandaberura, so there might be impact of Hoysala period paintings. Gandaberura painting is also there. A huge double-headed bird lifting its elephants on the toes. And then there are a lot of inscriptions. The notable interesting one is the Pachapa Madhya's inscription, where he has given a lot of donations to this temple. So we will try to see one by one in the remaining 30 minutes. So in terms of architecture, you have a fantastic Upida with a double Yali, one lion frieze on the bottom and one Yali frieze on the top and with Kapota in between. So now you see the difference between Kapota and the Kodungai. Kodungai means it will get extended and then get bent here. And this is the wall portion, Bitti. Since it seems to be of early Chola period, what we see here, we don't see Kumbha Pajara. So when we talk about Stamba, earlier only Stamba was there, and on top of Stamba, a Panjara, a cage was added. So this is the Stamba Panjara. So later on, during we see many varieties of Stamba Panjara and Toranas here. Later on, during Rajaraja period, first in big temple, you get a Kumbha on bottom, then it becomes Kumbha Panjara. Still later, creepers start flowing from the Kumbha and then it becomes Kumbhalata. So this is prior to that development, and that is why we see only Stamba Panjara here. Now coming to Mandapas, fantastic varieties of different Mandapam built by different dynasties. Everybody wanted to show their excellence in this. The Athmanathar Bhupathi Mandapam done by Nayakas, and then it is known for kodungais, and then sculptures of 10 Nayaka kings are there. Then when we go, the Panchakshara Mandapam or the Kanavasrapa, which has got a sala kind of a roof, like Chidambaram. So here, the notable sculptures of Manikavasaka and Arimathana Pandya and Shiva are available. And the roof, Vidhanam, contains 5 kalais, 11 mantras, 36 tattvas, 56 aksharas, 81 patas, 224 bhuvanas in human or in symbol form. So it is almost like a scientific mandapa where all the scientific, biological, physical concepts are explained in different forms. Then comes the Sethupathi period, Sethupathi Mandapa, which contains that period Raja's sculptures. Then we have the Nirta Mandapa, where we have beautiful sculptures of Kiradi, that is the hunter and the hunters of Shiva, and then the Kurati Kuravan pair, and two beautiful sculptures of Manikavasa as a ministry with full ornamentation, as you see there, and then when he converts a saint. We also have two stone towers on the left and right side. The next we go to Sundarapandi Mandapam, which has got 20 pillars, and then the Amuda Mandapam. The Amuda Mandapam is where this is 2 steps below before the sanctum. There is a big pedestal. There is where all the offerings are given, the boiled rice, greens, and the bitter gourd are put on top of the mandapam only. Then we have Ananda Mandapam, which is a sanctum. And when we come out, we have the Tyagaraja Mandapam, where in the Vidhana there is a Rasi and zodiac squares, and then there are a lot of chains. So in 10 Mandapams, we see so much of variety. This is the star Mandapa which I was talking about, where the stars are shown not in human form or in artistic form, or all as the actual constellation of identified bright stars. Swati is a single star, and Visagam is a collection of 5 stars, and then Anusam is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The actual position, Ketai is a 4 star as a 3 plus 1 combination. Like that, Moolam and everything is shown. In addition, yes, hello, hello. Okay. Similarly, we have the next one in Rasi Mandapa. You can see the Rasis and the 5 Panchaputas also getting represented here. And when we come to Manika Vasaka, there is a separate temple for him. This has got a 40 pillar, and once you go to Sanctum, since it is full of medicinal herbal paintings, there is not much electrical or focus lighting there which will spoil the paintings. So it is in dark. So go during daytime where there will be enough light where you can enjoy this. The walls are full of Peri Puranam and Thiruvilayadal paintings. Now coming to the Nataraja Sanctum, you have a line of all saints and then kings, and also the Dharmapura Adhina Matam related Adhinans also are depicted here. The next is the Navagraha Mandapam. When you say Navagraha Mandapam, we will be expecting the Navagrahas to be here. They are not there. They are in the pillars. So the 9 pillars contains 9 Navagrahas. In addition, some of the other iconographical gods. So some of the gods are here Ganga, and then Jaraheswara, and then this is Kalahasti story, and then this is the Kala Samhara Murti. So these are there in the pillars. When it comes to this Sabha Mandapa, which is on the back side of the temple, it contains beautiful pillars like that. See this pillar, which hangs a large kodungai so that it is extended 4 parts. Instead of single pillar, there are 4 pillars joined together. The entire thing is a single rock. And then on each pillar, there are beautiful sculptures, and which are now oiled to ensure that they don't get decayed. And then some of the life-size photos are Manmada getting ready to fire an arrow, and then Rati in a thing. And here, this is a sculpture. What you see is, this is a composite sculpture where the pillar, in the middle of the pillar, they have sculptured a beautiful idol. And then the front portion of the pillar, they have converted as a Tiruvasi or the frontal arch. The back portion serves as a pillar. So the Nayakas earlier did pillars as sculptures. Now, one pillar has been converted into a temple sanctum itself. It contains a sanctum idol, it contains a back wall, and it contains a front arch. So, such is the beautiful craftsman of this. Now, coming to Kodungai. The sculptures in Tamil Nadu, when they do contracts in the earlier period, they used to mention some exclusions. The exclusions are, I won't be able to do Audiyar type of Kodungai, Tiruvidi Manalai like Mandapas and the sculptures. Like that, there are a set of exclusions which are wonders and which has been done only one time and that cannot be repeated. So that is the respect the Kodungais of Audiyar Koil get. You can see this here. The Kodungai is an extension, but this is a Kerala model where there are a lot of, this is basically a terrace or a balcony extension roof. So here there are rafters on the cross beams, and then they are tied together by various iron pins. Here we have different types of iron pins and then different types of rafters, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different types of cross beams which are strung together. If you see this, all these things are sculptured, they are not cut and joined. So this is the single game. That is the beauty of this sculpture. You can see this here. See the joint parties and see the 4 strong pillars and which are extending the base up to 4 times the area to take the load of the huge Kodungai. And here you can see 6 lines of this extending all the way to there. And interestingly, we also see some shades carved out of rock. And then it's very difficult to make this kind of a change. In this picture, we can see clearly the 6 types of different rafters. The circular one, the 6-sided one, the helical one, and the normal 4-sided one, and 6 square, six-sided, four square, and the circular one, and different types of buttons. So each section is crafted and then joined together. And we have a lot of innovations, like a human or a monkey coming out of the lion's face. So basically, this is an extension, and then this extension, instead of having just a plaque, it has been done artistically. Again, we have the two Deepastambhas, where various gods and deities are there at the three levels. Now we come to interesting place. The problem when we go to Auda is you better have a box of iodex with you, because you'll be frequently looking up at other things. Either you have a kambal which is spread it on the floor and look, or if you are looking frequently up like this, you will definitely get neck ache. So better go with iodex or any of the Olini or something. So this Vidana contains, see how many stone chains are there, and this represents all the 12 Rasis, and then it also gives all the Devatas in another area. Here it is Jaraheswara, and it is Tumburu, and then the Nandi Deva. Like that, there are so many sculptural differences. More dancing damsels and beautiful tamara, and then in some places we have a lot of colorful things. If you notice closely, here they have written some Tamil letters. So this is a jumble where if you connect it with the correct sequence, you will find out a song. See that code is also written here. So this is on the roof panel. Now, coming to the next wonder, here we have two pillars which are having each row having four temples, around 12 small pillars in the four temples, 4 into 12, 48. So 10 rows of temples, around 480 to 500 small pillars inside this pillar. So two pillars, so that is 1000. Kal means small leg or pillar. So 1000 pillars in this two things. Again, you can see the varieties of horses here. Sculptures. In the front mandapa and on the side, we have life-size or life-size plus sculptures, which are beautiful. And you need to look at the leg and the head arms and then chest ornaments and the way the dresses are depicted and the minute details about the body, thigh part, and the thigh muscles. Fantastic definitions. Here, the Uddhava Tandava Murti and a damsel and the temple in a pillar, which we saw earlier. And varieties of horses from Arabia, from Greek, from Roman, and from Maharashtra, and from Odisha side. All types of different horses are depicted. They have identified different varieties. So the amount of detail given in the rearing horses are fantastic. The ornamentation and fightings are also very, very different. Now, we talked about these sculptures earlier. See this, the Kurav, the hunter and the huntress. See the amount of ornamentation. I missed the footwear. You go and see the footwear there. Fantastic. Bata, Adidas, and us are nothing. So much of design style in the footwear. See the amount of detail in the jewelry. A single strand, it is coming out and standing, and the amount of hair dress, the amount of the extra fittings, the knife, the way he turns the body, different. Similarly, the Koravan Korati kind of an thing. See the headdresses, the eyes, the single strand, and then two things, the dress, the things. And footwear is another thing, which because of this grill, it is very difficult to focus in full. So this is something you need to see in full, in person. No photograph does any justice. And again, deities. Fantastic deities, Bhikshadana. and then Urdhva Murti, and then Kali. You can see the fierceness and the amount of detail in the weapons she has. See the multiple layers of dress, the ornaments, and the flame. Beautiful. And Narasimha is doing a fantastic job of getting the entrails and putting them as a thread. And his hands, the details of various weapons are beautifully explained. There are many such sculptures in this mandapa. Now, not only sculptures, paintings, chemical less, pure herbal organic paintings which has withstood the time. And these are some of the scenes from Periya Purana, where he is a Ilayangudi Maranayanar, where he gets a crop, and then since crop is there, he gives his son as a sacrifice. So these stories are painted because of these stories. This entire mandapa, they don't have any electrical lighting and harsh lighting to protect this. So you need to go and then see it in the appropriate time. Similarly, it has got beautiful paintings of Bhikshadana. So Bhikshadana and then Targavana ladies getting enticed by him. And on the other side, Vishnu as Mogini and all the rishis fall for him. Again, a, this is not a sari spread on the floor. This is a sari design painted on the roof. I put it in horizontal. You can see the other picture here. Such designs are there everywhere. Lot of sari designs are there and fantastic detail and final things. You can take lot of models from here. And then this is the Ganda Perunda, which I talked about, the large bird with two heads, and lot of elephants he is grabbing on his two toes. So again, it mixes myths, and this is part of the kodungai. This is on the roof. Now coming to the final part, it has got a lot of inscriptions, which we can always get it from the regular documentation books. An interesting inscription is by Pachayappa Mudaliar of the 19th, 20th century. So he has done a lot of donation in this, and then this is a beautiful, simple inscription which you can read. This is in front of the Gopuram side, and you can read it leisurely and practice your skills. So with this, we can open the other eye and we can see with two eyes. And you have seen the religious as well as the architectural splendor of the Avadiyar Koil, which is very, very easy 2 hour distance from 5 of the top iconic religious temples. So next time, please get more notes. And whenever you go to these 5 places, spend an half a day and then visit this temple. And then this will help the local economy, and you will get a fantastic, relaxed evening enjoying this beauty. So thank you. And then if you have any questions or any queries on this, you can always contact me in my location here. And like this, many interesting videos on temple architecture are available in my YouTube channel, Babu for Heritage. You can like this and get update on new videos which are released on a regular basis. Thank you. Thank you all. I think I am on time for 1 hour where I was able to cover. If you allow me, or if you have content, you can talk for 2 hours and more. There are so many things about this temple. And like this, we will be covering from next month on a monthly regular basis, one by one temples in detail. So give in your suggestions. What are the next temples you would like us to cover? And then I will also try to prioritize them. I have my own list of temples to cover. but you can also ask and then you can suggest some of the priority temples. Now, I will try to uh, answer some of the questions, and if there is not much time, I will answer the remaining ones in the YouTube channel itself. One moment, let me read through this. Yeah, first one. Yeah, the first one is Jai Chitra, right? Yeah, first question is from Jai Chitra. A lot of interesting, all many friends, known friends have joined. Thank you all. From some of them from Chenji have joined. Good, Firoz Khan. And Jai Chitra has asked a question on attending this. And there is one temple. And there is a question about what about Muslim temples? Interesting, Revati Magesh Babu. Yes, there are some interesting things. But when you talk about tourism, I'm trying to address this from the tourism point of view. We are analyzing what are the top tourism inflows into religious one, and I'm trying to divide them into equally good art and architecture. So we are also analyzing some good Islamic as well as Christian monuments of art and architectural importance. Uh, if you find some, and if you feel some of them need to be covered, you can always mention in this chat or you can message me. There is a point about lot of echo. Let me check it up and see whether it's an issue and find out on the sound. The next question is, yeah, Anita was talking about whether the constellations are on the ceiling. So they are on the ceiling, they are on the entrance pathway, the main entrance. It is on the top of the Lalada Bimba on the bottom side, Vidana. The Kodungai, a tourist facilitator India, uh, Siva is asking a question on the Kodungai is of Kerala style. See, the Kabodam and Kodungai is basically the extension of the sunshade. The Kabodam is a normally simple sunshade, whereas the Kodungai is an extension which has done more of the similar sunshades that are followed in Kerala. But the Kerala one is a straight slope. It doesn't bend grandly. It is of wooden and it doesn't bend so much. Whereas here, this is a yes bend. That is a difference. Um, Anita's question on maybe the footwear is also imagination. Um, and since we don't see any examples in paintings and others, uh, partially yes, but again, the sculptures itself is imagination, multiple hands, multiple weapons are representations of the various aspects of God. So they will go overboard in terms of ornamentation, in terms of the armory, and also in terms of the footwear. But what we should appreciate here is the amount of details, like Hoysalas, how they have gone into the amount of details. So some suggestions on to cover Kalugumalai Vettuvan Koil, and Rajesh is asking which location is this? This is very near to Madurai. It is that shows that people don't know. This is 100 kilometers from Madurai. Right. Kodungai is like a sunshade. It is there in all the places, all the mandapam. It protects the edges from rain and sunlight. So that is the main purpose of Kodungai. So earlier it was Kabodam was only single bend. Kodungai is double bend. So that extends. So this much equivalent weight you need to put it as a counterbalance on the other side. That's why the pillars are also built like this, and then the top of the pillars expands like this to handle the heavy weight of the Kodungai. So don't look at Kodungai also. To handle that weight, how much of infrastructure is built behind the Kodungai, that is what we need to appreciate. Right. I think we have exhausted all the questions. Thank you for the support and the interesting conversations and interesting inputs. We will continue in this series, and then depending on the feedback, you please continue to give your suggestions. This is going to happen every month, covering one rich art and architecturally fantastic temples in Tamil Nadu, which can be connected. So making this temple popular is in your hands, where you guides and heritage lovers need to push it to the organizers and others and include this temple as part of the itinerary. So I am hope this content is of help, and if you need further more details on this also, I am willing to discuss with you. Please connect with me over phone or email. Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a nice day. Please share about this and this events to all your known friends so that this gets spread to a wider audience. Thank you all. Have a nice day. Jay, you can close this.